What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my review of the Eachine H7 or the Moontop Space Trek M9912. This is a nano. This is the little guy here. Pretty popular nano. This thing has been referred to me quite a few times as a nice flying nano. I gotta say it is a nice flying nano, depending on the way that you fly. But the way that I fly, I really don't like this nano much. It's just because of the yaw rate. The yaw rate is pretty fast, but the yaw rate isn't too well proportioned. Like, you can't really control the yaw rate too well. It has a speedy yaw rate, so when you just slam the sticks in one corner, you can get a nice funnel with it, a small tight funnel, but it's not pitching deep on funnels. For me, it's getting a little light funnel, but it does spin pretty fast on its funnel. It can do nice tight funnels, but not really deep funnels. I can't say it's not responsive, but it seems like it's a small delay when you're giving input to pitch, and also with recovering, it seems to drift a little, go like that when you're switching directions. It's not immediate like I'm used to with a lot of the nanos, but it does have long flight times. I think that's why most people like this nano, because it has longer flight times. But in my experience, it really doesn't have too much of a long flight time. Not much longer than the Cheerson CX10. It is longer, but not a lot longer. See if we can get it to focus better. I got the shiny silver version, so my camera was having a hard time focusing in on it. Let me see. I have to touch the screen on my phone to make it focus better. Yeah, but this thing, you can't fly it the way that I like to fly. You can't fly it hard and think you're going to bank turns. It doesn't bank well, again, because of its pitch, and it's a little delay on the pitch, and the yaw rate is really fast, and it's not really proportional. So you might have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time banking with it if you're flying fast with it. Now, if you're flying slow and you're just doing some yaw flying, it's not going to be bad then. So you can't really do a lot of pitch flying with it and think that you're going to bank turns and do any nice turns with it. You can basically fly this thing with pitch and then let off the pitch and then turn it, because the yaw is pretty fast. So you can change directions pretty fast with it. You just can't do it while banking or you'll spin out. But a pretty nice flying aircraft. The LEDs are pretty nice. Let's look at the LEDs. Switch this on. The LEDs, it has green in the front though and blue in the back. It doesn't bother me much. Usually when I get blue and green combination on quadcopters, the green is usually in the back and the blue is in the front. But to me, LEDs aren't a big, it's not a big thing. Not a big problem even if they have red in the front, as long as the two colors are different and they don't flash. And the LEDs don't flash when you're flying this. Once you bind it to the transmitter, it stays solidly lit. Oh, it binds automatically. So, and then you do have that bright headlight in the front there. That flashlight helps you with orientation a lot. It's a really nice night flyer. You have no problems with telling the front from the back because of that bright light there. You can see which way it's flying all the time, unless you get it pretty far away, because the LEDs are pretty close together. I don't know why they didn't put them on the outer motor pods. Some people think this is a better night flyer than the Cheerson CX10, but in my experience, I think the Cheerson CX10 is a better night flyer because the LEDs are a little more spaced out. Now, you do have a version of the Cheerson CX10 where the lights are not as bright, but I think it's still a nice night flyer. Probably better than this. For me, the flashlight in the front, it definitely allows you to see the front from the back, but when you're flying sideways, you really can't see that thing. You know, all you see, you're left relying on the two LEDs that are internal, and as you can see, they're pretty close together. They're like right here in this battery bay here. So only when it's coming towards you, you can see the flashlight pretty bright, and when it's flying away, you just see the blue. So you can tell when it's coming towards you or away, but when you're flying sideways, a lot of times you don't see that that flashlight there. Close proximity, maybe indoors, you can probably see that flashlight from the side because you'll see all of the light flashing that way. But outdoors, in my findings, you can't really see that thing when you're flying forward. It's pitched this way and you're flying. You can't see that white light. So pretty nice flyer though. It comes with a prop guard. The prop guard broke immediately. My son broke it though. It didn't break from me crashing it, but I thought that was odd that it snapped like that. I don't know. My son's a Tyler. He's 1, and he managed to break it. But yeah, this thing is a pretty nice flyer. If you're not going to be flying it fast and banking turns, you can do some casual flying with it indoors. It can handle outdoors as well, but I didn't have a good time with it outdoors. When you try to fly it fast, the accelerometer seems to get all screwed up as well when you're flying this thing fast. It'll start pitching the wrong direction sometimes if you're flying it fast and then you let off the throttle. It'll pitch really hard this way, and it'll stay that way for a while, you know, so that sometimes causes it to touch the ground and do all types of weird things. It doesn't like to fly fast. The transmitter is kind of awkward. You have to flip in the rates button here right next to each other, and sometimes I find myself trying to switch rates and I'll press the wrong button here. And you have your trim buttons up here, so you have your left and right trim over here and your forward and back trim here. No yaw trim, no throttle trim, but usually it doesn't have a problem with yaw. I haven't encountered a time where it would just yaw uncontrollably or anything like that where it would need yaw trim. So it's pretty good with yaw and the throttle, but it's just this is an awkward position for it. It takes AAA batteries, just 2 of them. But for the most part, it's a pretty standard size for a nano transmitter. The CX model 023 has this same weird configuration up here. Actually, Flying Ryan, he did a review on this thing, and he found that it binds to the CX model 023 transmitter, but I have the new version. Mine does not bind to my CX 023s, so I have the new version. You just have to fly it with this thing. So that's all there is to say about it. It comes with a nice white wall charger, USB charger, and an extra set of spare props. They're all white, so no help with orientation with the props. And that's it. Let's go check this thing out in flight. Okay, so this is the indoor flight demo of the Eachine H7, also known as the Moontop M9913, I believe it is. Flying with the stock transmitter. This is the new version that doesn't bind with the CX model 023. So let's check it out. You can see the LEDs are really colorful, really bright. You can see them in this lighting. We're on low rates now. This is the yaw, pretty fast yaw on low rates. Pitch is not bad pitch, but you can see it takes a little while before the pitch goes all the way into full input, and you give it. Now let's go in high rates. Okay, now we're in high rates now. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the flip button. They're right next to each other. Okay, now we're in high rates. The two beeps. You can see the yaw rate gets really fast now. Look at that. You can get a nice funnel with it. If you like that type of funnel. Let's see if we can get a better funnel than that. They're not bad funnels. Pretty close and tight. Not a lot of pitch on the funnels though. But the pitch is pretty deep on high rates, but it takes a little while. It doesn't go into full pitch right away. It's like a second delay or whatnot, it seems. So you can fly little circuits with it. You can do some yaw flying with it, but it's hard to bank a turn. It's really hard to bank a turn. If you're going fast with it, you can bank slow turns like that, nice and easy. But as soon as you try to go faster, y'all spin out if you try to do a bank turn when moving fast. So for the most part, you're going to be flying this way. You're going to be just using the yaw to change directions really quick. You can see the headlight on it is pretty bright. And spin it around so you can see the headlight on it. And that also indicates the LVC. When it goes into LVC, that starts to flash. Really nice flight times with this one. Let's check out the flips. We saw one earlier, and invertedly. So there it is there. Nice flips with it. Not as nice as the Cherson CX-10, but they are nice flips for the most part. Let's get one facing us. If I can. Here you go. Get over here. So let's go back down to low rates. Now low rates, you can somewhat fly nice circuits with it, but the yaw still tends to be a little touchy. The yaw is. So there you go. Nice little slow bank there. Oh, if I had the prop guard on, it probably would have survived that crash without going down. So let's check out some more flips again. We're back in high rates. Let's see if we can get it to do a double flip. Let's see. Get it steady. It likes to drift around a lot. Doesn't want to stay put. Let's see. Oh. I think maybe I have to put it in low rates. Okay, we're back in low rates. Let's try one now. Oh, I only got one. Let's try it again. Actually, let me trim this thing. I try to avoid trimming it because the trim buttons are in awkward spots on it. They're at the shoulders. They're the shoulder buttons on the transmitter. So I'm giving it a little left trim to try to stop that right drift with it. I found that this Nano drifts a lot though. Actually, I think I was giving it forward and back trim. Let me get that back to 0. It's on the left side. Okay, there we go. So the trim was off actually. So now I got a pretty nice hover with it now. You can see hands off hover. Bad throttle management by me though. Let me see if I can get it steady. Okay, there you go. Hands off hover. Okay, let's try the funnels now. See if the funnels get any better now. We're on low rates. This is a low rate funnel. Let's go into high rates. Okay. Funnels are the same. So yeah, I guess I can fly this thing until we get LVC. So you can see just how much time you get with it. Pretty decent flight times with it. I know it flies longer than the Cheerson CX-10. Well, here we go with LVC. And it was fully charged, so get a little flight time with LVC. And there we go. That's the Eachine H7. Thanks for watching.